Hey everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here today, and we're going to be doing a video I've really been thinking about for a long time. It's going to be 20 ways that you can have a really successful YouTube coin channel, a good presence on YouTube. Now, this should be really interesting for creators and people who just watch because I've put a lot of time into this. It was a short while ago that I was starting out on YouTube. I had no type of direction as to where I'd go and how I could make this channel big. And so I thought that I would explain kind of the process for me to my viewers. And then also, if you're interested in having your own YouTube coin channel, this should be pretty helpful for you because you can save a lot of time, avoid making some of the mistakes that I did or that I see that might be prohibiting people from moving forward. I'm not calling anybody out specifically, and I am just giving, my opinion. If you have different opinions or if you disagree, I'd love to hear that in the comments, trying to think about where you guys come at it from in your journeys as creators as well. So that being said, I've broken down the video into 3 different types of tips: physical tips about the creation of your channel, content related tips in terms of the creation of your channel, and then finally other. So that's kind of how to expand, not specifically within the YouTube niche. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so number 1, when you're making your coin channel, you can change this, but make a good name. That's super important. For me, Treasure Town was really important to me because I wanted to expand to not only coin roll hunting, that was pretty much what I was doing when I started out, and I wanted to be able to say I'm doing stuff related to treasure. So that lets me do bank strap searching. In the future, I can bottle dig, metal detect, all sorts of cool stuff. As long as it relates to treasure, it's good. So that's why I chose that name. You definitely do want to put a little bit of thought into yours. Make it easy to remember. Alliteration's great. It doesn't really need to be. I like Quinn's Coins is a great example of another good name. You do want people to be able to know, though, that it's a coin channel as well. Couch Collectibles, a little alliteration, and also has you realize that it's going to be about collectibles. And it used to be Couch Coins. He then expanded it to collectibles. I try to do that preemptively, but that's kind of the direction that I'm saying when I talk about making a slightly general name if you do think you could get big in the future. Number 2 is invest time in creating a good banner and a good logo. That's key. My logo could be a little bit better, but I really like my banner. It tells when videos come out, a very basic overview about what we're doing here on the channel, and the logo is just kind of to the point. It's TT, Treasure Town, and it's something that people can recognize. I would also, though, point to somebody like Quinn's Coins who has his face. That's another good way of doing it. His general channel is really professional, and the face kind of gets you acquainted with him. So there's all types of different good logos that you can pick from. 3 is a little small thing, but some people don't do it. I think it's good. Add a little watermark. They appear either here or here in the corner of your channel. I don't know how the phone's going to end up having the video come out, but it's great because people can easily subscribe, and it gets you a little bit more of that branding. Branding's super important. I want people to be realizing that's Treasure Town and associating me with Treasure Town with hopefully a good quality of production, good content, so that they come back to watch my videos more. Number 4 is maybe the most important tip that I can give anybody, and this does not apply just to coin channels, but super important, is stick to a schedule and let people know what that schedule is. So this is a double-sided thing because I do videos Monday, Thursday, Saturday, and I'm tentatively starting to release a lot more on Wednesday, so I may add that into the mix, and it doesn't matter if it expands as you go along. But that way people can rely on your content. They know when it's going to be coming out, and the other thing is that it makes you produce. So I started out, I think it was a Monday, Thursday schedule, and that made me put in the effort to produce ahead of time so I can make sure that I could keep releasing on Monday and Thursday. So if you're a content creator and you adhere at the first to a 1 time a week minimum, that's what I would say. Make it the same day every week, so that's like you have a deadline. There is a lot of work that goes into making a good channel, and I think that a schedule helps both the creators and the viewers and is so important for long-term growth and success. Number 5, another physical one, but this relates to your videos. We'll do a little bit about videos. Make sure that your thumbnails are good. That's something really important, something that I did very poorly in the beginning of my channel. But if you can create good thumbnails, I use Photoshop, which is slightly expensive, but it's so important to have good thumbnails that deliver what you're really looking for. That makes sure that you can get it, in the right size so that there's no black on the edge of your thumbnail, and it also lets you do a couple special effects, kind of make your thumbnails pop, make them a little bit brighter, and I might go in detail about that in the future, but there's some tips and tricks that are also really important when you're doing those. But getting acquainted with making a good thumbnail is important. I first went with a really standardized thumbnail, so like the same thumbnail on every one of my videos, and I didn't really do it that well, so it didn't work that well. Couch Collectibles does a great job. Justin, he has awesome thumbnails and they're very standardized and it works well for him. But there's kind of a mix, you know, sometimes it works well, sometimes it doesn't, but getting a good thumbnail that will make people want to click on the video is really important. Now, there is a little bit of a difference between clickbaiting and getting a good thumbnail. Don't make it a total clickbait, but obviously you do want to show an interesting scene as well. You don't want to just see a random shot that's not that interesting. People won't want to click on the video. Number 6 is perfecting your titles. This is super important, making a good title that gives a good overview of what you're going to be doing. Remember that in the YouTube search, there's not too much space to see what the title is, especially because most people are on mobile, so there's not too many characters that people are seeing, but you do want it to be good that will deliver the information as well as index well in the future, so that people, when they search, they can get hit with the keywords. So coming up with good titles is important. I did get a list of some bad to good titles that I want to show you guys. So I would say that a bad title for a coin roll hunting pennies video would be like Treasure Town Coin Roll Hunting Pennies 4/1/19. It's very bland and it doesn't really give you any information about what the hunt is like. Now, if you wanted to make that a little bit better, it could be something like Coin Roll Hunting $25 pennies. At least you know what the amount is, and it doesn't say Treasure Town, it doesn't have a date. I really don't like having a date in front of the title. A better title would be something like Great Coin Roll Hunt of Pennies, $25 box, Wheaties, and more. Something like that. That's kind of just off the top of my head, and maybe, you know, that wouldn't really be that good, but at least you have a little bit of an adjective, kind of great, contextualizing the hunt, and you say a little bit about what you find, and you could follow up with a thumbnail. But a really good title, for example, or at least in my mind what a good title is, would be something like Incredible 104-Year-Old Find Coin Roll Hunting $25 in Pennies, and then you actually match the thumbnail so that you see maybe the back or blot it out with the date, but some type of spoiler, and, you know, add some layering or some depth or some shine into that thumbnail so that people are like, oh wow, that's great, you know, he had a good find. Quinn's Coins is really, really good job of doing this, but the coordination, again, of the thumbnail with that title that I was talking about earlier, that's super important. 7 and 8 are pretty quick, but 7 is to choose a custom URL once you can. Mine is youtube.com/treasuretownYT. That's a really easy one, but you do want to get that out of the way. I think I had to hit 100 subscribers. Maybe they changed the requirements, but do that so that it's easier to type. And if you want to link to your channel somewhere, it's memorable. People know what they're clicking on, and I think that's a good play. And then number 8 is monitor your YouTube analytics. There's so much data that they show you. I know, for example, like my viewership is 70% male, 30% female, which is really cool. I would have thought that it had been even more skewed, so that's great to see that there's all types of people on the channel, but I also know that it's almost all from the United States, as well as countries like Philippines, which was surprising to me, and Mexico, United Kingdom, and Canada, but about 90+% United States. I also know that most of my viewers are on mobile, so I've been trying to optimize some of my videos to a mobile platform. I thought that everybody watched on desktop because I personally only watch YouTube videos on desktop, so that really, really changed things for me. And it also made me pay less attention to really intricate parts of my thumbnail and kind of take a macro lens and try to get big, obvious things in those thumbnails. So number 9 is the start of our creator tips. So when you're actually going and making videos, coming out with content, the first thing that I'd say is you want to vary the content within your niche. So again, couch collectibles, treasure town. It's not coin roll hunting town or something like that. You want to be able to provide a wide breadth of videos. So that's why, like, say your name is like Shield Nickel Searcher or something like that. If somebody gets acquainted with only doing shield nickel videos, that'll really limit their long-term growth. Now, maybe that's your real passion. You just want to promote that, and that's fine. I think that you will limit your channel, though, if you're only focused on shield nickels. If you can branch out and then make sure to come back to that shield nickel content more often than your average channel would, probably a lot more often. I haven't done any videos on shield nickels. That'll be a lot better, and it'll let you just have a bigger audience that you can maybe even share some of that stuff with. I love bank strap hunting. but I couldn't make a channel about bank strap hunting. There's not enough viewership. If I can create that type of video every couple of months and get people excited about it, that's great in my opinion. Number 10, don't beg for subscribers. Super important. So I think the way to do it is in my outro, and we'll talk a little bit about that in another segment, but I ask people to subscribe. That's at the end of the video. You don't want people though who are subscribed to your channel and never gonna watch a video. And there's more again on that topic later in this video. But you want your subscribers to be natural. So a quick prompt at the end of a video I think is a lot better than just trying to like say, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. You want people that want to subscribe to your channel because they like the type of content that you're putting out. They like thinking about what you're doing, kind of seeing what you produce. You don't want people who just clicked on the button. It actually hurts you if you have, 100,000 subscribers and you're getting 500 views on a video. That's pretty terrible. My amount of people that are watching for subscribed isn't actually that great, but it's not dismal. Once it's dismal, that's a really bad sign that a channel is pretty unhealthy. I think the reason that not all of my videos do that well is because I do a wide variety of topics. Some of them are kind of niche subjects, but there's not too many people who are subscribed to my channel for that type of content, but I provide a wide variety. So hopefully everybody's covered who has signed up to be part of the channel. 11 is making a related intro and outro. I've already showed my intro. It's pretty simple. It's like 4 seconds. I wouldn't put it right at the beginning of your video. I think it's better to open with a little segment. Quinn's Coins does a great job of starting a video with something really interesting. I kind of just introduce the video personally, but you don't want to have the first thing be an intro or outro. In my opinion, I think that it's better to get people engaged with the video in the beginning. I could do a little bit better job of this actually. Often my intros are a little longer just because I'm explaining a topic and I want you guys to have a full perspective about what I'm going to be talking about before you go into the video. But the outro, that can be standardized as well. I think you should vary your intro, whereas your outro can be the same. Just kind of a similar message, asking people to subscribe, because if they've gotten that far in the video and they're not already subscribed or they haven't already liked, that's something that is good to ask them to do because they probably did like the video if they spent all that time, especially if it's on a longer video. Number 12 is do your giveaways sparingly until you're a larger channel. Now, what does this mean? You don't want people that are only subscribed to you and involved with the channel just so that they can get some freebies from you. Like, that doesn't really show a sign of a healthy channel. If nobody wants to watch your content, they just want to be there just so that they can get some free stuff from you. So what I did is I made a subscriber giveaway at the milestones of 100, 1,000, and 10,000, and I made sure that they were pretty good. It was a Morgan dollar, some older silver, and then a trade dollar, 10,000. And I look forward to doing some pretty cool giveaways in the future. But that's not why people should be subscribed. It's more of a celebration. I didn't do it when I was at 9,000 to try to get me subscribers. I'm happy with the extra subscribers that come in as a result of these giveaways, but I think that the more important thing is that you're celebrating, and it is fun to be able to give stuff away that's cool, that encourages people in the coin community, but especially in the beginning, you don't want people signed up to be part of your channel. Now, at this point in my YouTube stage, I'm actually trying to think about ways to get the people that are subscribe to my channel watching more of my videos. I alluded to that earlier, and that's where I think I'm going to start and it may have already started by the time I release this video, but like a monthly mail call video now that I have a PO box where I unbox stuff that people have sent me. But then what I'll also do is make that a monthly giveaway and kind of get people excited about the coins that I'm giving away. But I'm at a stage where I have a fair amount, it's like 16,000 right now, of people who are involved with the channel. It's very little of that has been because they want to stick around for giveaways. And at this point, it's just a way of getting people excited about Treasure Town. 13 is carefully edit and make your content. Really simple, but you don't want a ton of super long pauses or things that don't make sense. Don't be afraid to refilm your videos. I say the same sentence like tons of times. In fact, this literal sentence that I'm saying, I had to repeat because I messed it up. So that's kind of an example. Don't be afraid to have a fair amount of cuts. You do want to provide good content. And then the interesting part is not quite as much about saying the same thing or being afraid to reshoot, but actually thinking of stuff that people want to see, right? If you just make coin roll hunting $25 box of pennies, that's not really going to drive a ton of stuff long term. You want to think of creative ways to make it like, why do people want to actually watch your channel? What are you doing that's different from an average less established channel, there's tons of people doing that type of hunt. What about your channel has people returning for more? Number 14 is be careful with the mail call videos. Now, this is not for everybody. Some people I think use YouTube just as a way to like be in the community and have friends. I do that, and that's a huge part of why I'm on the channel. But I think that if you do a ton of mail call videos, that is less about people won't be quite as interested. Like that veers off a little bit. I try to provide like educational content and some entertainment, and the mail call videos is something that I'm going to do as more of a way to interact with the community, but I'm going to do all from a month. I'm not going to make a mail call video for each person that sends to me. They don't really do that well in terms of views, and if you do a bunch of videos that don't do quite as well, it actually ends up hurting your channel in the long term. So that's kind of been one other thing. Like I have a coin trivia series, for example, that I love making videos for. It's like coin trivia. That's literally what it is. But they do really weakly. They perform poorly. And then what that does is it hurts the future videos that I release. So it's like it's a conundrum. I don't know exactly how to handle that in the future, but I haven't been making too many coin trivia videos because they then hurt the next videos that I release after that. So it's just not a really good idea. Mail call videos are the same. If I did one for every time that I get sent a package, that would really hurt my channel in the long term, unfortunately. Number 15 is understand the type of content that you're putting out. So there's stuff that goes viral. Look at my Frith nickel video, for example. That's done really, really well. And it gets a ton of content in the beginning and then falls off. Like I did the follow-up, like the most valuable Kennedy half dollar, got like 95,000 views pretty much like 2 weeks after it was made. And then it did really poorly after that. Whereas I have this series of like small size silver certificate overview videos, which do terribly in the beginning. And then over time, they just accrue views because they're good videos. They deliver good content, what people are looking for when they're looking into this stuff. But it's not the type of stuff that people are going to click on when they get the notification in their mailbox. Then there's also stuff that really never does well. Often you create that because you actually enjoy creating it. That's like the coin trivia video. I also did some stuff about classic commemorative half dollars, a series that I really like doing about the error ones on that. And that just never really did well, and it doesn't get too much more traffic. It's also a struggle with some of the coin roll hunting. Unfortunately, like the regular coin roll hunting box of pennies, if there's nothing insane about it, they don't really do that well in the long term just because people aren't super interested to keep watching those. They just want to watch the best boxes of pennies or some way like when it's a competition. I'm going to try to do that. Quinn's Coins does a great job. I've talked with Quinn's Coins and Couch Collectibles a lot about making YouTube channels, and they've been helpful, and they do a good job of making good content that people want to keep watching. Now we're going to go to the other segment. So the first one is, I was kind of just talking about that, and this is technically, I think, number 16. Yep, number 16 on that list. But yeah, being friends with other creators is so important. I'd say that I'm friends with Quinn's Coins, Couch Collectibles, Rob Finds Treasure, Midwest Coin Hunter, Pam's Coins, Ash Digger, The Happy Coin. There's so many great creators out there, and it's great to just be in touch with them, talk with them about the types of content that you're putting out, collaborate. It's tough to collaborate, unfortunately, but Coins for Amateurs is another one that I'm friends with. Big D Coins, there's tons and tons, but you don't want to go alone. You want to have other people providing feedback, people to talk to, and making it a community and not just a solo producing videos things is really important for the long-term health of your channel. 17 might be a little bit controversial, but it's something that I did, and I'm glad that I did it the way I did. Be careful of monetizing too soon. This is a little bit dubious. Like I monetized at about 10,000, 11,000 subscribers, at least when I started running ads. So monetize as soon as you can, but I didn't run ads until then. Now at this point, the monetization is really awesome. I get a somewhat steady flow in the channel. It's nothing insane, but it really helps with making good software updates or being unafraid to like go buy something that I need for a video. If you do it too soon though, I feel like it makes the focus of your channel seem like to be something that's making money. Like right now, the money is, it's totally welcome on my channel, but I think for the long-term health of my channel, like it's really important for me not to be focused on this as a way to make money, but try to think about creating good content, creating fun content, and staying original to who I am when I was creating the channel so that in the future I will continue to create good content. I don't want to be pushing out a ton of stuff that's just trying to get views and not actually adding to numismatic knowledge online. I want to retain that original goal of providing actual educational content or really interesting stuff or funny stuff, whatever it is that I'm doing, not making money. One thing that I've been doing recently is on some of the videos, I won't monetize them for like the first day to allow subscribers to look. I do lose a little bit, but then I monetize for people coming in after that so that people who watch it in the future, then I can make a little bit of a profit. It's pretty small, though the YouTube coin niche is pretty good compared to the average one because the demographics skew significantly older, and in the countries like USA and Western Europe and Canada that have high CPMs. But I'm not going to get into too much of that stuff in this video. Number 18, interact in the comments. Not everybody can do this, but like for me, I go on a stationary bike every Sunday just for a little bit of exercise, about an hour, and I try to answer all my comments. While I do that, I have like a little platform actually on my bike, but it's great to interact in the comments. I love hearing from my commenters, hearing from people watching the videos, and it's something that's fun. I'd recommend I probably respond to about 80% of comments, the 20% that I don't, being like gibberish or languages that I don't understand or comments that you don't really respond to. It's kind of difficult to put a finger on it, but that's basically what I do, and I enjoy it because there's a lot of people who don't produce, so you can't go and comment on their videos. You're just interacting with them as a fan. I love hearing from my fans, so I try to interact with them on the comments. It's that simple because I do really value what they have to hear, and I want to make them know that I value what they have to say. 19 is watch other people's videos and comment on them, but do not go around commenting the same thing like great video, I love coins or something, and copying and pasting that on every video. I will watch videos, maybe I'll only watch about half of it, but then I'll comment something that makes me in touch with the person. It may be on a bigger channel than mine, it may be on a much smaller channel than mine, but make them specific to the video. So say they coin roll 100 pennies, maybe congratulate them on a few specific finds instead of just being like, great hunt, thanks for sharing, something like that. That's a little bit, that feels like somebody just went around copying and pasting that on like 15 videos just so that they can get exposure. I'd rather have people, look at the content that I'm making and saying something. Now, feel free to just comment whatever you want on my video. I don't really care that much, but that's just something like if I get a comment that's really written out and clearly specific to the video, I do like hearing about that a lot better than something that's not. Though, again, I love all comments, so please feel free to comment. It actually really helps my videos, and again, I like being in contact with this community, so that's why I encourage people to comment. And though it's number 20, I will have a message after this, but number 20 is branch out to other platforms. This is something that is pretty important. I think I'm on Instagram and not too involved, but I am on Facebook as well. I don't have like a Twitter or Snapchat for it. I do have a Reddit and a subreddit that I post on, but it's important to just interact with other communities. You can do it on coin forums online as well. I think it's a lot better though to just get a little bit of contact with outside of YouTube. I think it'll really help your channel. And I'm not going to go into the specific platforms, but I would try to expand onto them if you have the time. And then before I leave, I do want to say that I'm offering coin consultation for your channel. They're on my website with a link in the description. But what it is I will spend like 30 minutes to 45 minutes looking at your channel, thinking of ways that you can improve it, and then we'll do like a Skype or FaceTime call for about an hour, actually exactly an hour. It might run over a little bit. And I'll think about a customized strategy that will really help you expand your channel, learn a lot more about how to go forward and become a big channel. Some of the tips are here, but there are definitely some insights that I have saved up kind of in my mind. Not like I'm withholding them, but 20 tips seems like a lot enough. So if you did make it to this far in the channel, I'd encourage you to be in contact with me. It is something that you'd pay for, but the way I'd look at it is that a consultation could literally save you 20 or 30 hours. So think about the value that 30 hours or 40 hours, or in my case, like if I had somebody help me. That could be hundreds of hours literally saved by doing a consultation. So reach out for me in terms of that. But if you have some other comments to make, I'd love to hear them in the comments. Some other things to avoid doing maybe when you're making a channel, or some ways that you can really accelerate growth. I'd love to hear about it, and maybe it'll even teach me something. So with that being said, thanks for watching the video. Thanks for watching the video. If you haven't already, I'd encourage you to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay in contact with me on my Instagram, TreasureTownYT, Facebook, TreasureTown, or my website, TreasureTownYT.com. And I love receiving packages from you guys. I'll unbox them in a video once I get enough. And my address for that is TreasureTown, P.O. Box 201, Greenwich, Connecticut, 06836. So I'll see you on some of my other videos.